Welcome, boys and girls, to another episode of Haunted Router. Today we're going to be reading a story from That Eagle 5950 on r/scary stories called Past Curfew. Now, when you're watching this has been out probably for a few weeks now, but as of right now, this has been out for 13 hours. We're getting in the nitty gritty. We're diving right into the bussy, trying to get the coolest, newest stuff possible. Anyways, I just wanted to make sure to tell you guys that we love you all. You guys have been doing good on even watching this and all. This is great. I love that we were able to do this. Make sure to always leave a like and a comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Also, if you're listening to this on Spotify, or if you want to listen to this on Spotify and you don't want to see my gobbledygook face that's just covered in all this shine, that's just dried male juices from my day job where I hang out under an overpass. So if you don't want to see this and you want to listen to it on Spotify, make sure to give us a rating over there. We will get it on Apple Podcast eventually. I gotta figure that out. It's hitting me with technologies, and I am an 87-year-old man that can't handle this. But
if you are an independent author and you're writing in these spheres and you think that you have what it takes to make it on the greatest creepypasta podcast ever, objectively, then please let us know. Or if you find some fire, then send it our way.
Absolutely. Isn't there somebody who does the same thing? It's like a meat lagoon or a canyon cuck, or I don't know. There's some other guys that do this.
The canyon cuck and the meat goon. That sounds familiar. Yes,
yeah, exactly. They're only much more prolific and have a team of editors. Anyways, we're gonna be reading Past Curfew, and I will let Ben take it away and for a line.
When the sun goes down in Parker Square, the town unravels.
And your house doors shut by 8 p.m. on the dot.
The sheriff preached every morning through the radio. Not 8:05, not 8:01. By then it would be too late. And he knew this. He knew this, and he was still late. Teddy. It's been 2 years since Teddy, my golden child older brother, was taken from us because he was late. I had held the door open at 7:58, looking frantically down the street for him. At 7:59, he appeared, running. The panic had already set in his eyes, the sheer terror of his soon consequence seemingly following him.
Teddy, run!
I screamed. Once the clock struck 8 p.m., the church bell rang out. And it got him. Nice,
it got him, bro. We got an it creature. I love that we're just setting it up. We haven't had a creature feature yet. We had Octagon Monster Beatdown, but we have not had a creature feature, which I am excited by. And I'm gonna keep going with my weird gender neutral voice because I have no idea what the protagonist is. I'm just I think that'll work.
I like that at 7:59 he appears a block or two away.
Oh,
dude,
absolutely.
I am super unathletic, but if I'm about to get mauled to death by a monster, I'm pretty sure I could make it 2 blocks residential in maybe under 60 seconds.
I'm gonna be
real. Might be 9.
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real with you. You probably have a chance. You are a dude that's marginally in shape. What are you, 30, 31? You're gonna be doing fine. I am a morbidly obese 87-year-old man.
You look fucking fantastic for it, then.
Dude, this is all just grease from
the makeup. That's right.
It's a lot of makeup. I'm going to. It's what DiCaprio uses, so he can continue being a vampire. So I am a 98-year-old man that's morbidly obese, and I'm getting caught. When I start to run, the earth fights back at such a force that this creature doesn't even have to put a light jog on. It can speed walk to me and catch me.
You run in a dream in real life.
Yeah.
Where it's your legs are frantic and it's just what the fuck is happening?
Exactly, dude.
That is
100%.
so funny.
I mean, well, you know what's worse in a dream is when like you go to fight somebody and you punch them and there's no weight behind your punch, and I'm like, listen, that makes no sense. Because again, I might be a morbidly obese man, but there would be because of that, there's a lot of weight behind that punch. I might not have seen my penis in 35 years, but at the same point, that means that I can throw a lot of weight behind a punch.
Fighting like that in dreams has made me scared of fighting in real life.
Yeah, well, look at that. Look at that.
Terrified of a real life fight because I think that I would just punch someone and it would be just like in my dream.
Dude, it'd just be like that other story.
Yeah, yes, exactly. How many? Yeah, we've seen too many examples of fists and legs just getting caught out of the air.
I know.
All right, so let's see what happened to Teddy, the golden child. I watched it tear Teddy apart. I watched his head roll down the street, his blue eyes wide and unseeing. I watched it swallow his legs. I watched Teddy's blood ooze from his mouth while it swallowed the last of him. So he's looking in two different directions at once, because the blood's way over here, the bloody mouth is way over here, while this thing's swallowing legs over there.
Wait, no, because he's swallowing and the blood's pouring out of his mouth, so it'd be in the same direction. The head is
off down the street.
Well, what I see is he saw it saw the head roll by, right? Saw the head roll by, was like, damn, Teddy, you died. Which I love that they're already killing a kid. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You gotta have some balls in a story to kill a kid right away. And then looking up and just saying, it's like me eating a piece of pizza.
What if Teddy's actually like 26?
Oh.
He's like the golden child, but he's just never moved out. He's explaining a lot as why he can't run.
He's just 572 pounds. He still breastfeeds.
He was on the way back from like the weed guy.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, it tastes so good with my mom.
I'm just gonna get over there real fast. She's like, it's 7:55, Teddy, and he's like, Mom, give me some fucking weed money.
Exactly. I love it.
The only thing left of Teddy was his ring. His gaudy ring with the shimmering black stone, 26, that I teased him for relentlessly that he found in an antique store. The ring he insisted on wearing because it made him feel like a rock star. It rolled on the ground and stopped just a few feet away from the creature feasting on my brother. I sobbed. I screamed. I sobbed. I was defeated. I couldn't save Teddy.
This is so dumb, but amazing. This is so...
he's like 4, watching his 26-year-old brother just get mauled to death, and his parents are like, "Why aren't you doing something? Go out there and save him!"
She's standing there with a Power Ranger, just like, "I saved Teddy's toy."
Teddy's like, "Save my pinky ring."
Oh.
Then that's when it reared its head at me, and I heard my mother's voice scream at me from the hallway behind me. Get back! Get back! Yeah. I see rap lyrics when I saw that. Like, get back! She hollered as she ripped me backwards by my hoodie and slammed the front door, locking it in place with its 5 locking mechanisms.
Damn.
Dude, alright, yeah, so it is serious. You gotta like keep this thing locked out. Not a second later, the front door shook from it trying to get in. There we go.
Mike took him! It took Teddy! I saw it!
I sobbed, rubbing my hands over my tearful eyes. Ma was quiet for a moment.
I know it did. That's what happens. Teddy should have been here. It's his own damn fault. Stupid boy, stupid boy.
She mumbled bitterly. She was angry. She was angry at Teddy for not listening to the one rule. The one rule that has been in our town for decades. Yeah, she just immediately replaces the golden child now that Teddy's not here.
Yeah,
she's
obviously.
Like, oh, you were always my favorite.
Teddy was an idiot. We always knew Teddy was an idiot. What a moron. Can't believe. Big L took the L. Shouldn't have died. What an absolute loser.
Dude, all the other families are like pointing and laughing.
Yeah.
They're like,
Dude, did you see they lost their kid? What a loser. Imagine not listening to the sheriff say go home. Like, what an idiot.
Teddy. I reached toward her for a hug, and she backed away, patted my shoulder with her shaking hand and avoiding eye contact. Wow.
Ooh, terrible
when I
mother.
Stared at her face, when I stared at her face, trying to look for guidance of any kind, it was as cold as stone. A single tear escaped her cheek, and she quickly wiped it away. That's the last time I saw her cry. And 2 years later, she now barely speaks.
Damn, dude.
This town's awesome.
It was a great town,
I go to-
honestly. It was a great
Right.
parental figure. Real empathetic. Loved her children so much that when one of them died, she said, it's your fault. Make sure next time to not be so stupid. Oh, wait, you're dead.
She gave him one of these, just pat.
Yeah, she's like, you'll get over your brother getting mauled in front of you. It's not that big of a deal.
Like, go watch some TV.
Go into the
Here's
coal
your
mines.
Go back to the mines. I go to school, go to my job at the gas station, and then come home by 6 every night. This kid's only 4 years old and he works at a gas station.
Exactly, dude.
His parents fucking.
Well, it's 2
need
years
him.
later. It's 6 now.
Oh, he's 6 years old now, working at the gas station. Yeah. He's like been promoted.
Yeah.
The most I will tempt fate is leaving my window open up till 7:59. Why? The exact moment I saw Teddy running down the street. It's a complex. Every day I look down the same road, hoping to see him running towards me, hoping this time he will make it. But he's never there. And Teddy remains a cautionary tale. People were empathetic at first, kind, offered casseroles and flowers, mixed together. Until the mumbles.
How could you be so stupid? It's not like this is a new rule. I bet he was doing something nasty and he didn't want anybody else to see. Why else would he be so last minute?
The only person who remained kind was Luann. Luann was my year, and as far as I knew, my brother didn't know she existed. But she was always quick to hush up any negative talk about Teddy, and for that I was always grateful. I was just finishing up my shift when Luann came up to the counter, a box of popcorn and chocolate bar ready for purchasing.
Hey, Luann.
I said, sliding the items over the scanner.
I had to add age to the voice. There's no way I can
Yeah,
do
that's
that.
fine,
It's
that's
not
fine.
well, I'm going to be real logistical about this. I don't think it's actually a 6-year-old.
Yeah, right. We can drop the bit now.
Oh, and it's not. It's a Kevin. It's a dude. So this is a good voice. Oi there, Kevin.
She said timidly.
Any fun plans for tonight? You're looking at it. Though I'm about to head home.
I answer, putting the popcorn in a paper sack.
Extra butter?
I comment.
That's the best kind, having a movie night.
Riz Monster.
Well, it was with my sister, but she's had a sleepover, so I think it'll just be a movie night alone.
She responded sadly. Oh. I had been notoriously antisocial since Teddy, so I can't really explain what led me to do this.
Hey, you want to hang out?
I blurted. Why did I say that? Maybe because Luann was nice. She stood up for Teddy, and she didn't, seem like one of the girls who tried to date me after Teddy died just to become popular from my tragedy. He got so much tragic pussy.
Well, yes, I would love to, Kev.
Already, we got pet names. Oh, let's go.
Oh, yeah, she says it smiling.
My mom is working the night shift at the animal hospital, so you can come to mine if that's okay.
Hey, bro's getting laid. Let's go.
Bro's so getting laid.
Let's
He's
go,
gonna take part of
Kev.
it. She's gonna
dude.
need to go to the animal hospital after this.
Yeah, dude, they're gonna get some monkey sex.
He says it avoids eye contact though, so I mean he's getting there, but
Oh, that was him saying my mom's working night shift. Dude, he had way so much riz on that. He was probably like, "Oh, baby girl, you were not nice to my brother and shit."
Yeah, that's fine, as long as you know.
she looked down.
As long as it isn't you trying to get special time alone with me.
Oh no, I'd never think of that. No, just friends. I promise. I swear to God, no, just friends.
He's startled.
Oh,
I stick my hand out to shake hers. She laughs, then accepts my hand.
Okay, friend. Then it sounds like a good time.
bro just instantly cucked himself so
No,
hard.
bro, this is the dance. This is the dance. She's gonna put it on him so hard, dude.
Oh, dude, this is
He
amazing.
smiled at me. I clocked out of work and we walked to my house just around the corner. By habit, I check the clock when I walk inside. 6:02. Plenty of time. Luann politely
Okay, I
stands-
do love the time.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
the time. Like, yeah, of course, this is a little goofy, but the way I'm reading it that makes it like So, as goofy as the premise is, and it's very Stephen King.
Yeah.
It's very Stephen King, and I feel like a lot of people get flack for stuff like this, but if you've read Stephen King, this is 100% up that alley. Only she hasn't given me, like, the entire breakdown of what the main character's Johnson size is and why they haven't showered naked together. Like,
there's gonna be some weird like ritual that comes about.
Yeah, dude. Well, we gotta have the 50s guy with the switchblade just randomly thrown in because Stephen King was mad bullied as a child or something.
And he says plenty of time. Plenty of time for what? Like the movie?
Yeah,
because that's a 2-hour movie.
Well, or, I mean, most movies are like 90 minutes. Let's be real.
Okay.
It's only a modern thing where we've always hit past the 2-hour mark. So
2.5-hour mark, yeah.
Yeah, so we got about 90 minutes if you pick like a good rom-com, which is what he's gonna be choosing. You don't invite a girl over to put on anything other than like a rom-com, a World War II documentary.
That's what I was about to say. Band of Brothers. We're watching Band of Brothers.
We're gonna watch Band of Brothers, so she just doesn't care and wants to have sex with me. You know, just something schlocky that we can just instantly go to sex time. Or a horror movie works because they're like, oh, and you're like, oh, well, let's just look at that. Oh, what am I doing?
Dude, this is getting good. Luann politely stands in the doorway and is staring at a framed photo of Teddy on the wall. Him, me, and Ma at the barbecue. The summer before he died.
He was a really nice person,
she said softly.
He was.
I said cautiously.
Did you know him?
Not
really.
She answered quickly.
Just in passing. He was just always had a smile on his face. He did.
I said, looking at the photo myself. Not a day went by that I didn't miss him.
Anyways,
she said, rummaging through the sack of snacks.
Let's get poppin'.
Our snacks were made, and we turned a movie on. I relaxed into the couch. I couldn't help but notice how tense Luann had become since she saw the picture.
Hey, baby, you okay?
I asked. She responded, eyes fixed on the screen. I let it go, but kept an eye on her as we continued the movie. When the heroic character on screen died, Luann burst into tears.
Hey there! It's okay. It's not real, I promise.
Dude, he's kicking himself so hard. He's like, fuck, dude, I was supposed to be sealing the deal by now. Pausing the movie and turning towards her. He pauses it, too, like, as, like, the heroic character is, like, getting a spear,
dude,
like, right through the head.
It's just Final Destination first scene. The movie just started. And they all die, and she's just instantly in tears. And, bro, I have a picture about, like, how I would handle a girl crying and how I do, where I just get instantly uncomfortable right away. I'm like... There.
Yeah, there, Luann.
It's gonna be okay. Do I hug you? What do I do here? Chin touch? You like a chin touch?
Chin touch. Just to get a little, you know, one of those.
I can, like, brush your teeth or something. I don't know.
I can brush your teeth.
No, Kev, it's not. Kev, I'm sorry. I can't be here.
She stood and grabbed her bag off the floor.
Okay.
I stood up to pick up our trash. I glanced at the clock on the wall. 7:30.
Yeah, let me walk you home,
I said while I grabbed my shoes.
No!
She loudly said.
I mean, no, I'm okay. Just down the block. I'm not going to let you walk home alone. You know why.
I said, putting on my jacket. Tears well up in her eyes, and she turns to face away from me.
Yes. I remember.
Softly. That's when I see she's looking at the picture of Teddy again. Oh, dude.
Luann, what's going on here? Do you have like a crush on Teddy or something?
Cucked by my dead brother. I huff out. I can't even have a friend without some ulterior motive, apparently.
A crush?
She whips around.
No, I didn't, But what?
I demand. I'm agitated now, and I know I'm not hiding it well.
Kev, please don't hate me. I can't promise that. Tell me what's going on, or get out of my house, Luann. Damn, bro became a dick so fast.
R/nice guy, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro, he's such a nice guy. He's like, let me walk you home. No, I'm not gonna let you walk home. Are you looking at my fucking brother again? Get out of my house. He says, crossing his arm. I tell her, crossing my arms.
Kev, I'm the reason Daddy's gone.
Time stands still, yeah. Town bike. I stared at Luann's face, trying to make sense of the words she just gave me. I don't know if I believe them.
No, Luann. Daddy's the reason he's gone. He came home late. He was an idiot. Mom said so. I promise you, Luann. Mom told me. She patted me on the head one time. She wouldn't make eye contact with me the last 2 years. But she said, and I quote, "Well, that dumb retard was out past 7:59, and that's the reason you had to watch your brother get mauled to death."
Those were the last words my mom ever said to me. I'm pretty sure she wasn't bullshitting. Hey, Mom. See?
She's been here the entire time. She just won't look in my direction. You thought she was at work. No, dude. I say work, but what she does is she tests rope in the garage.
We just call it the animal hospital because...
She's an animal.
She's an animal.
No,
he explains this to her slowly, but yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, yes, he was late, but I was the reason why. I had been on a date with Cole from the baseball team at dinner, and afterwards Cole became aggressive, tried to kiss me hard and touch me. I screamed and tried to push him away on my own, but Daddy was there in a flash. He was walking on his way home and saw what happened. He pulled Cole off of me and told him off. Then he walked me home to make sure I was safe. I told him didn't have to, but he insisted. He said he could make it home on time if he ran, but he never did.
That's why she doesn't want this dude to walk her home, obviously. Like, she's like, I've never walked with another person.
Yeah, dude. That's the moment the mom finds the rope that actually works.
So the narrator's life kind of sucks, low key, dude. Like, he asks, like, the first girl that he asks out in 2 years is the girl that's been carrying around the guilt of his brother's death, which is the only thing that people acknowledge this family for.
Like, dude, I made a lot of dark jokes, but like, if you lost a kid or whatever, I do feel bad. But like,
yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course, obviously. I don't know why. I think the last joke, I was like, oh, I maybe should give a PSA here for 2 seconds instead of just being a goblin. But yeah, did you imagine having the weight of something like this on you for that long just obliterates you? That would just like kill you inside. And bro just thought he was gonna get laid. Bro thought he was gonna slap a little clitoris for a little bit, and instead is finding out about his brother's keeper.
They need to mourn together.
Yeah, exactly. Over a nice glass of Chardonnay.
Exactly. Over this nice movie. I felt frozen. I couldn't speak. I couldn't react. I don't even think my face changed the whole time she was talking. He's about to go full nice guy.
Kev, please say something. I've had to get about this since that day, and I understand you hate me now. And I'm so sorry. Your brother saved me. And then
She looked at Teddy's photo again. His smiling reflection looked back at her, mockingly.
I'm sorry. I should just go. I'm so sorry, Kevin.
She whimpered. She ran for the door and was gone into the street before the slamming had even finished.
God damn it.
I huffed, and then followed Luann out the door.
Luann!
I called down the street. I like your annoyed tone. I could hear her, I could see her in the distance, walking quickly, her sapphire blue scarf whipping in the fall wind. I ran after her.
Luann, wait!
I called to her. She stopped and looked over her shoulder. I reached her just as she started to cry again. She opened her mouth to speak, but I stopped her.
I don't hate you, Luann. Maybe Teddy was late because he was walking you home, but he made that choice. What happened isn't your fault.
I said, gasping for air. She began to cry again, and I hugged her.
I'm so sorry. I'm just so sorry.
She cried into my jacket. I hugged her for a long moment. I could tell she needed it, and the narrator probably needs it too.
It's okay. Now let's get you home, alright?
I said, offering her a tissue from my pocket. She laughed softly, and we turned to head down the road. We had just barely taken a step when we heard it. The church bell.
No. No.
I panicked, pulling out my phone. 8 p.m.
Oh my god.
Luann whimpered.
Come on, we have to move. We can make it back to my house if we run.
I grabbed her hand and we began to sprint. My head whipped back and forth as we ran down the street. No sign of it. Maybe it's our lucky day. We make it to the house next door to mine when we hear the screech. We keep running. We both make it inside my house and I slam the door. I lock all 5 locks.
Oh my god.
I gasp.
That was a close call.
Luann is leaning against the wall, breathing heavily, her face white.
We're inside now, Luann. It's okay.
I assure her.
No, it's not okay.
She murmurs.
It knows we were outside now. It can smell us. What are you talking about? My Grammy told me that it can smell you and track you out if you light. That it'll hunt you down. It won't give you up to the bright flames of the morning sun.
She peered out the window.
The protection of salt over the doorway, though. It can't cross in.
This story is losing me. I gesture down at the salt that we refresh every morning.
Maybe so. But it will try to get you out.
She whispered. Bang, bang, bang. Someone's banging on the door. I try to look outside, but the sky has become dark. I can only make out a figure on the doorstep.
Kev, it's me. Open the door. I'm here, please open.
It's Teddy.
Teddy?
I holler, reaching for the first lock.
What are you doing, Kevin? Stop it!
Luann pushes my hands away. She literally just told you it's gonna try to get you to open the door.
This guy's an idiot.
Next sentence, he's like, "Get out of my way, bitch!" They're awesome.
He's here, Luann. Teddy's here. We have to let him in.
I'm fighting with her, trying to move her hands out of the way.
Kev, that's not Teddy. That's it. It's trying to get you to come outside so it can get you. You can't let it win.
She pleads with me. Teddy's voice continues to plead.
Kev, it's cold outside. I miss you. I fought so hard to get back to you. Please open the door.
I frantically pull at the locks.
Kevin, please. I have to get Teddy. I have to.
I swing open the door. Nothing waits for me on the other side.
Teddy? Teddy!
I yell. Silence.
Teddy, I'm here! I'm here now!
I say to the darkness. I raise my foot to step over the salt line.
Kevin, no!
Luann shouts. And it happens so fast, I know. But it's like time slows down for the next few moments. 1 second, Luann is to the side of me, and the next she moves in front of me to push me back. When she pushes me, she loses her footing, and 1 foot steps beyond the salt line. A large black claw reaches from above the front door and grabs Luann by the throat. She's dead before her feet are lifted from the ground. I scream and stumble backwards, now staring at the empty doorway dripping in Luann's blood. I'm shaking. My breaths are heavy and rasping. Does this bitch never know what time it is? Like, she's getting everyone murdered.
Kev, why didn't you listen? I thought we were friends.
She says after she died. Luann's clear voice rings out on all sides of me. Oh, okay.
My soul is trapped with it forever, Kev. Mine and Teddy's. Maybe we can keep each other company?
Dude.
You're not real. You're not Luann.
I scream, putting my hands over my ears.
Come outside, Kev.
Teddy's voice echoes.
We can be together now.
Tears spring free from my eyes and run down my face.
No, Teddy's dead. Teddy can't talk to me.
I cry. Just then, Luann's grandma's words come back to me.
It won't give up until the bright flames of morning sun.
The sun. It was barely 8:30. I couldn't bring the sun. Unless... maybe I could. I ran to the kitchen to find what I was looking for. The matches.
Let's go! Flamethrower!
Yes.
Let's go, dude!
I can't bring the sun. I can bring the flames.
Dude!
I stalk upstairs.
It's gonna get
Teddy's
so
old
lit.
bedroom. Literally lit. His room overlooks the front door, where I know it is waiting for me. I slowly push the door open and look around his still pristine room. He was a minimalist, so the room looks sterile, like the day he left us. I creep to the tall window and lean against the wall next to it. I lean over to look outside the window, and that's when I see it. I've never seen it up close. It's the size of a bear. Its skin is black and shiny like ink. It looks like it's dripping down on the roof shingles. Its front claws are covered with Luann's blood. I see something shimmering on its hand with the glow of the streetlight, but I can't see what it is. Its head is leaned over the front doorway, waiting for me. I close my eyes and whisper into the room.
I love you, Teddy. I'm so sorry, Luann. I should have listened.
You should just let her run off. I lit the match and held it to the curtain surrounding the window. It caught immediately. I left Teddy's room and ran downstairs.
Bro just lit his house on fire.
This is like, I have the perfect plan.
Burn my house down.
Burn my own house down.
I
Fuck
thought
you,
about
Mom.
getting in my can of Axe body spray and hitting it with an old blap, but instead, I thought my mom would actually maybe tell me she's proud of me if I burnt the entire house down. She thought, I think it was a good idea. She's still at work, even though it's past 8, but we're gonna burn the house down. She's gonna come back and she's gonna be rubble.
Yes, absolutely. With him standing triumphantly next to it, and he's like, I didn't kill it, but it will never return here. Like, yeah, because there's not a fucking here.
Yeah, we had to move. We had to move, Kevin. This is what happens when you burn our fucking house down, is we have to move.
He did it after Teddy died. He did it, like, I left Teddy's room and ran downstairs. I had to wait for it to truly catch before I snuck out the back. The flames were rising quick. I didn't have as much time as I thought. I rushed towards the back door before I remembered something and ran towards the front walkway. I grabbed the framed picture of us. You don't have this much time. Me, Ma, and Teddy. I tucked it under my arm and opened the back door. Once the fresh oxygen hit the air, the flames reacted.
Boom!
I was thrown into the backyard, clutching the framed photo as the paint shot up my back.
This is amazing. So before we go any further,
Dude, the full-on action movie slow motion.
dude, I love how schlocky this is, dude. It's so like, I truly appreciate this person for letting us read this. I think this is so schlock.
Like you said,
it's very schlocky.
To paint the perfect picture for the audience, by the way, he lights the upstairs curtain, runs downstairs. The downstairs is already engulfed in flames.
Yeah,
so it, like, instead of it setting on the roof, we just cut to the entire house is now engulfed in flames.
You know what this reminds me of? Fright Night.
Yeah.
Remember
or,
the sequel,
oh my God,
the remake of Fright Night, especially.
Dude, this reminds me almost of Texas Chainsaw 2.
I haven't seen
But like, just at the end, oh my God, it is the most surreal, like, just the goofiest horror movie in the entire world.
The first one sucked. I'm gonna die on. Thank you. The remake's the better version.
I enjoy it. I think it's cool, but it's not like that good of a movie. Like
everyone. So I watched it for the first time this year. After years and years,
last year.
Everybody was like, "Oh, it's the greatest. The remake sucks." The remake is the one I watched first. The remake is awesome,
right?
Yeah, 2003.
With the mail call guy.
Yeah, Arnold Ermy. That movie's fantastic, terrifying. Jessica Biel, badass in that movie. It is great to watch her try to survive. I felt like the main characters were much smarter than in the original. Like there actually is like, it was just like a better movie. Overall, it's a better film. The original one is just screaming. Like it gives it's like migraine inducing. There's like
I was having an anxiety attack while I was watching it, not even from the cinematography or anything, but just like listening to a person scream for 45 minutes straight was like traumatizing me.
Me and my wife were sitting there, we're like, can she just die? Like, that would make the movie
right.
exponentially.
Like, her.
Yeah, dude, like, it was like fun, like, there was like great moments where like the family dinner, and there was like the car scene, and there were so many great moments that were just ruined by her just insufferably screaming the entire time. I do not like that movie. I know a lot of people in our chat's gonna get really mad at me, especially because I am a little bit more brute force about it, but I really just think the remake's the better one. If you've never seen it, know it's a classic. It did what it did. It deserves to be a classic for breaking as many molds and stuff as it did for the time. I'm not gonna try to take that away from the film, just it does not hold up in today's day and age.
No, it gave it the classic and like time-worn pedestal that the remake needed, the sculpture of like Renaissance art that is the remake needed to set on.
Absolutely,
so we thank it for
absolutely.
that.
I'm sure that there's gonna be somebody who thinks that I just hate it because I like new things, but it just doesn't hold up. It just doesn't, and the remake just does.
You only like new things. That 23-year-old movie.
yeah, exactly. Oh, 27. Oh, no, you're right. 23. No, it's 23. I went retarded because I was thinking.
He's a time traveler.
I'm a time traveler from 2030. So,
more established.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was 2030 already, dude. I don't even know what year it is anymore.
He's like, if you think things suck now, I came back here.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so our narrator, the oven explodes, the giant oil tankers explodes that are in the back or in the basement.
And bro is yeeting McCleety into the backyard. It hits the ground. Everything went dark. We are blackout. This is Fright Night scene 100% when he blows up the house. So,
I woke up 3 days later in a hospital bed. Ma sat next to me, eyes closed.
Ma?
I whispered. Her eyes shot open.
Oh, my baby.
She cried and grabbed my hands.
Ma, what happened?
I gasped, looking around.
Kevin's gone.
She told me.
We think so. The house is on fire. We found its front claws severed on the roof. They think the body perished in the flames. I don't know if fire would have that effect. No one did.
He explained.
Where's Luann? Is she okay?
I asked, hopeful. Ma's face fell.
No, Kevin. They found her bones. Her body perished in the fire.
Tears ran down my face. I nodded.
Did they find its body? Did they find... Or did they do... Or what did they do with its claws? They burned him. After they examined them at the animal hospital. Weirdest thing, though.
She said, standing up.
What's weird? The claws. The bones were human-like, just elongated fingers. I don't know what kind of creature it was. Oh, I almost forgot.
Began to dig around her purse. Human bones? How would the horrible creature, a murderous demon...
They found this on one of its fingers. It must have been kept from Teddy. I think he'd want you to have it.
She handed me something with a little weight, and she moved her hand away. And when she moved her hand away, it caught the light.
Teddy's ring? Why would it keep this?
I asked, turning it over to examine it.
I'm not sure. Maybe it felt connected to it. I'm going to go ask the doctor when you can go home. I'll be right back.
She smoothed my hair off my forehead and kissed it softly, before leaving and closing the door. I smiled for only a second. This is the most me and Ma have spoken at once in years.
Oh my god, dude, it took him getting blown out of his goddamn house for his mom to love him. What a brutal life.
This is a fucking tragedy.
Yeah, this is so... Like, I normally I would, I would want to crucify a main character being this dumb, right? But he's lived in a house where his mother doesn't speak to him for the last 2 years after watching his brother just brutally eaten. And his dad's been sleeping with a prostitute in Brazil for the last 20 years. So, like, he doesn't visit. He doesn't pay child support. So this kid's just miserable. So I don't expect him to be, like, the smartest egg in the pot, you know?
Dude, this is just so good. I moved the ring back and forth, its black stones sparkling at me. What kind of connection would a beast have to a ring that doesn't even belong to him? I slid the ring on my finger, admiring it. My brain immediately began to feel fuzzy.
Oh, jeez.
I say. My eyesight goes blurry as I fumble around to look for the call button for the nurse. A familiar voice enters my head.
Kev, take it off! Take it off!
Teddy?
I murmur. When I grab hold of the remote and look down at it, my heart rate quickens. My breathing turns ragged as I watch my fingers extend.
Please forgive me. Oh, please forgive me for Luann, Kev. I had no control.
What? What is he talking about? Am I dying?
It can't have you, Kev. It can't have you. Take it off!
The ring vibrates as the black stone begins to leak, covering my skin in the color of ink.
That's kind of cool. I like that it doesn't make any sense. Like, but
it does not make one lick of sense at all.
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
One lick of sense, but
there's a core here that could be very good. I think that it's very punchy in how it gets you through the story. I think that works for it. I think that its pacing is incredibly well done, which I don't ever felt like I was completely like where I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna crash out.
No, not like that. I like that it just keeps introducing things that you're like, all right, you're starting to lose me here. You're losing me. But then the story's just kind of like over after that, where you're like, oh, well, that was kind of cool actually. Like they're at the end. I mean, like, but if we go back through it though, like where Teddy gets his ring, he gets this ring from an antique store, but this town has been plagued by this thing for decades. The ring somehow knows what time it is, where it turns you into a werewolf.
No,
there's multiple rings.
Yeah, this town.
There's multiple rings.
This town was somebody in this town does one of those ads where they sit there and they try to sell jewelry, which is just a typical small town grift. And they have a Facebook page, and the only thing they sell are these rings that they got from like somewhere in East Asia, probably. I don't know where they get these weird Taiwanese garbage rings. But anyways, they're filled with Taiwanese demons, and that's just what's happened to the town. So that is what we're going with. Again, I do think that there is I don't want to like fully say this is the worst thing I've ever read, because we have I think there's this is way better than Jeff the Killer, and we haven't read that on the channel, but we are not going to, because Jeff the Killer sucks. But it was fun.
No, I mean, this was a very fun story, and I like mentally unpacking it afterwards. I like figuring out all of the ways that it doesn't make sense and trying to fill in the blanks on my own.
Absolutely.
Like that Teddy was eaten by one of these inky werewolves, basically, or whatever. Yeah. And like he witnessed his brother get killed by a different monster. Then that didn't go after Luann for whatever reason, even though she was also outside. Or
well, I mean, maybe it only came out
around the same time, maybe.
Well, you can only get he escaped around the same time when he watched his brother die. So I mean, it has to the monster obviously can't teleport or anything. It just says when it's killing one person, it can't just go after another person instantaneously. So she probably, and he dropped her. What happened is he dropped her off at home already. So he was running back home when he got killed. So she wasn't even in the picture.
She was already at home. You're
the
right.
only person who was there was Kev. Kev was there, and so that is kind of where I'm sitting on it. He was lucky to survive the first time because the mom saved him. Luann was saved the second time, and then the third time Luann died because she tripped on salt. It was a weird story. That was
when you put it that way.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that
do the house
monster
blowing up. The house blowing
so
up.
hard.
It's such a
The
great.
house blowing up was awesome.
That saved the entire story for me. This could have been like absolutely garbage, but blowing the house up was so over the top. And just the way that I love the how dumb and like cliche the dialogue is, and like especially I feel like the place that we put these characters in just feels natural in a way.
You know, dude, these things I really cannot decide. But like when we hit the end of these stories, not wristbands sucked.
Yeah,
but
that sucked.
But we did that one on purpose. And these ones though, like, because they're so new and they're like so campy and schlocky and stuff, that they just come across as genius to me.
Yeah,
like they really do. Like these, I don't. We dog on it and we're like, what is this writing? And that doesn't make any sense and stuff like that. But I like loved it. I loved it so
and
much.
the thing about that, like, this is a thing that I'm not gonna like judge any of these stories on like a massive critical level because they're Reddit stories.
No.
But for the most part, I mean, you're gonna have hits, you're gonna have misses, and I mean that's why I think that it would be like I wanted us to read maybe a couple of her stories, you know, like I figured we'd go to her top rated one. It's not very long, and we could do that one next. But I'm thinking she like obviously if you write tons and tons of stories, I mean even the person who wrote Baraska, they wrote this other one where it was like a town and a demon under the church, and it was just retarded. It was just a retarded story too. So like, you never can just look at one story in a nutshell. I mean, every writer has like their massive like over the top schlockiness, and sometimes they have like their spooky to the absolute bottom of your ball sack. I'm interested to see what their most popular story looks like.
Yeah, I am too.
Are you ready? Well, we'll just jump right into this one.
He belongs to us. When I was a teenager, I lived in a small desert town. A tourist town, really. Think cowboy historic with lots of old buildings and dust. I was able to make some extra cash babysitting on the weekends because there wasn't much else to do in the town anyways. One night, I was babysitting for a couple that had an infant. I met them at Target, and they seemed like a nice couple and knew another family I sat for. They lived way out of town, so far that the street names are gone, and you use mile markers as your signs to know where you are. It was an easy gig. Baby was staying asleep, just had to feed him when he woke up. Parents would be back around midnight. I cozied up on the couch with Netflix and settled in for a chill night when the doorbell rang. Thinking it was one of the parents who forgot something, I jumped up and opened the door immediately to nothing, it seemed. I shrugged and started to close the door when I heard a soft voice.
Mills.
I stopped the door and looked around the corner to see a girl standing on the steps of the porch. She was about my age and had long hair, and a hoodie pulled up. But her eyes, they were so light blue they were almost glowing in the dark.
Do you live in this house?
She asked me.
Oh.
I started.
No, I'm just visiting.
I was careful not to say too much, because although the girl seemed harmless, she was still a stranger.
Is Miss Rosie no home? I need to talk to her.
She asked. She seemed nervous, twiddling her thumbs, looking behind me into the house.
You know what? She just stepped out to go to the store. I can tell you stopped by if you just tell me her name.
I said, slightly backing up, ready to close the door. She stepped towards me, her eyes darting around, and she put her hand over the zipper on her hoodie. She leaned forward and whispered.
Please tell me where she is. I don't want to hurt you.
Ooh. Fucking, here we go, music stops. My heart dropped. She removed her hand from the zipper and really looked at me, her eyes pleading.
I'm sorry, she really isn't here right now.
I said with a tight expression. Her face turned desperate, but at that point I had been thoroughly creeped out, so I closed the door and locked it. Okay, yeah, dude, no
this
way.
is good.
I would be
this
like,
so
I'd be
good,
like,
though.
get me the fuck out of this house right now.
Oh my god, this one's grabbed me immediately.
Yeah.
See, this is like 100% what I was saying. The other one felt schlocky and it felt like a bunch of ideas getting thrown into one story. This one, just like I'm grabbing the cojones there, brother. I'm
Oh,
pulled
me
in.
too. Me too. Well, you're out on this like dusty country road with no street signs. I imagine that if there are other houses, that they're like not across the street or next door. They're like within eyesight, if that, and stuff. So yeah, like this reminds me of the opening to like The Strangers.
Yeah,
which is,
well,
like, I love
actually,
that horror movie.
The Strangers is a good call, but even better than that is One Missed Call, or not One Missed Call. When a Stranger Calls.
Oh yeah, that's right. It is like When the Stranger Calls. Yeah. The whole babysitter story. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that one, like, except for like she didn't open the door, but When a Stranger Calls, I remember I watched that. That was like a PG-13 one that I watched when I was like in middle school. It was one of the early horror movies I watched, and I was like, yeah, dude, if anybody calls when I'm home alone, not answering it. I don't care who it is,
right.
not answering the phone.
Have you checked on the children?
My wife's over here. She's like, that one got me too, brother.
Oh yeah, dude. I think everyone got by that, man. It's our age group. I called the Rosinos to let them know. Once I described the girl, they grew frantic. They told me they were calling the police and to stay with the baby. Yeah, no shit. I still remember Mrs. Rosino screaming into the phone.
Don't leave my baby!
Over and over. I ran down the hall to the nursery, threw open the door, and ran to the crib. I like this entrance. It's fucking loud as shit. The baby was still sound asleep. I scooped him up gently and sat in the rocker with him. We're not there yet. With him in one arm, my phone in the other.
Help will be here soon.
I had whispered, more to comfort myself than anything. Then the banging started. I could hear the front door shake from the force used to knock on the wood. Then the sound moved. Why aren't there any sirens? The police station wasn't far from this area at all, right before you turned on the mile marker. They should be here by now. I heard the banging travel along the house, one big knock at a time. Bang, they were by the living room. Bang, they were by the kitchen. Bang, they were by the hallway. I got out my phone and texted 911 help to my mom. You're a little late. She knew where I was babysitting tonight. She responded immediately with question marks, then tried calling. I silenced the call. I couldn't risk answering and the intruders hearing me. My mom would make sure the police got here. I knew it. Slowly moving closer and closer to where I hid in the nursery, the window was locked tightly with the blinds closed. But glass is breakable. Bang! They were at the wall next to the window. I backed away from the window to the corner of the room when I heard the front door creak open. The baby boy still asleep in my arms. I started to cry. I whimpered like a wounded puppy. I couldn't fight someone off while holding him, but I wasn't going to put him down. Footsteps descended the hallway. I heard muffled voices while doors were being opened and closed.
Where is the nursery?
A gruff voice asked.
I don't know, Daddy. I couldn't see the floor plan online.
The same small voice of the girl from earlier answered.
If that lefty girl wants to help them, that's fine. But he belongs to us now. No one can keep him from us now. Daddy, please, maybe she'll understand.
The voices stopped right outside the door. The baby started to stir. I shushed him quietly and rocked him back and forth. Then I heard the sirens. I shot a thank you up to whoever was watching over me, grateful that this nightmare would soon be over. But the weirdest thing happened. The footsteps didn't retreat. No one ran. No one left. No one moved. I was sure they were going to come in and finish me off right before the police showed up, and then steal the baby into the night. But that didn't happen either. Loud footsteps came walking through the house, a boisterous voice calling out towards the hallway.
Excuse me, sir. Are you the resident here? We got a call that a little girl was in trouble. Is she here?
Muffled voices sounded and trailed off, walking outside. I was waiting to hear anything. Yelling, screaming, more sirens, but it was silent. After what seemed like hours, heavy footsteps walked directly down the hallway toward me, and the door opened. A uniformed officer looked stern and took a look at me, cowered in the corner with the Rosino baby.
Hey, sweetie, are you alright?
he asked, bending down to meet me at eye level.
Yes, those people were trying to take the baby. They were going to kill me. Why did it take you so long to get here?
I cried out, finally letting the tears fall as the adrenaline hit was coming down. The officer looked confused.
We came out the second the call came in. We made it here in about 5 minutes. Did you try to call sooner?
He pulled his radio to his face, asking his other officer if any other calls were attempted.
Well, no. Miss Rosino called you at least 30 minutes ago. I called them first, and they said they were calling you right away, and to hide with the baby, so...
I looked down at Baby Rosino. That's my rap name now. He had finally woken up and started to quietly cry. The officer just stared at me, a mix of sympathy and fear in his eyes.
Where are the parents? They should be here by now. He's probably a little scared and needs his mom. Did you arrest those psychos?
I patted his back and bounced him in my lap to help comfort him.
Oh, no.
The officer...
I messed up. Wait. This sounds like the cop, right?
Where is parents?
I think that's her cutting in. Did you arrest those psychos? Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. And then I patted his back, and he smiled sadly at me and spoke into his radio.
You can send them in.
After a few moments, the nursery door opened, and the teenage girl stepped through, with a large man behind her. The girl started to sob, putting her hands up to cover her face. The older man placed his hand on her shoulder and looked at me sadly. The policeman stood up and reached for the baby.
No!
I shouted.
What are you doing? Are you working with them? This is the Rosino's son!
The girl finally spoke.
No, he isn't. He's mine.
Oh, I like that a lot.
I like it too.
I like that a whole lot. Like, oh God, it's just such a... It's taking that preconceived notions of the strangers and... what's the other one we mentioned?
The babysitter story, when a stranger calls or
when
whatever.
When a stranger calls, and it's flipping it's on its head to where you've been babysitting for the kidnappers. Like, this baby's on milk cartons, and you're babysitting that fucking child, and you don't even know it's happening.
She's like making him she's like making him like the bottle with milk and stuff, and like sets the carton down away from her, and it's got like the baby's picture on it while she's like walking out of the kitchen and stuff.
Yeah, I mean the only like famous time that somebody has found somebody off of one of those milk cartons is because of the kid noticed herself on the milk carton.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just I like this. I like that a lot. I mean, I think it could have ended here. I don't know what part 2 is gonna end up doing, but the way part 1 ended, I like that rug pull. I think that's a really good rug pull to where...
That's true. You have a good point there to see, like, we really don't know what's going to happen in part 2. This could either accelerate, like, or this could be like, you should have left it right there.
Yeah, she could light the house on fire and it could explode.
Oh, if she doesn't, I'm not gonna be loving this story too much if she does not. If a house doesn't explode,
she's got to blow up the house. You got to blow up the house at this point. But
like, I knew what I must do then.
Yeah, I knew exactly what I must do. Matches. I'm bringing the sun to her. You think this is your baby? I'm blowing you up. Sure, you had your job.
Daughter? You forgot the sun.
Just blow up the entire house, dude.
Die on a 3-letter pun.
Yeah, exactly. But what you wanted to rock in with part 2?
Here we go. She started to cry again, big tears staining her red cheeks, her breaths coming in short bursts. That's when the large man stepped forward.
I'm sorry for the fear we caused you, but that precious little boy is my grandson. My daughter carried and nursed the baby all by herself, and is a great mama. We had our neighborhood who I believe is Miss Rosino to you. Watch him a few times when everyone at the house was working, and she seemed like a trustworthy lass. But 2 months ago, my daughter went to pick him up after her shift, and they were gone, her husband and Jonah. The police couldn't help us, so we hired a PI and tracked them all to here. I know we should have called the police here too, but we were desperate. We didn't want to cause you any harm, but we thought you were in on it too. We just wanted our baby boy back.
He nodded down at the baby in my hands. Jonah. He was full on crying by this point, but I wasn't letting him go yet. I turned to the officer.
Is this true?
I asked, my voice cracking on the last word. He nodded, said they didn't run when they walked in, and handed them a folder of evidence they had gathered to support their claims.
Damn.
He brought the folder of evidence with him. He said that they still needed to run a DNA test to be sure, but they were waiting to talk to the Rosinos first to get their side of the story. But I kept thinking to myself, where were they? They said they were coming straight home. They should have been here an hour ago. The officer held his hands out to me again.
I'm just taking him to get checked out by the medics. We only want to make sure he's okay. You can walk over with me.
I took a deep inhale, nodded, and passed the fussing baby, maybe Jonah, over to the officer. When we walked outside, my eyes widened at the mass amount of people outside the house. Police cars, an ambulance, a big crew of men and women on motorcycles, that's a fucking random thing, and my parents. My parents who were pushing past people to get to me. Mom got to me first, crying and reaching towards me.
My sweet girl, my darling girl, are you okay? Are you hurt? Is the baby okay? Oh my god!
She wailed. She held me tight to her chest and began to sob. My dad wrapped us both in a big hug, the stoic man fighting the tears in his eyes.
She's okay, Liz. She's right here. We're all together. We're all alright.
He sighed into my hair. I squeezed them both before pulling back.
Do you guys know the Rosinos? Have you met them before? You dropped me off here tonight.
Oh, sorry, hang on. My parents looked at each other, then back at me with a contemplative expression.
We don't know them personally, no. Friend to friend, mostly. They didn't move here too long ago. I think maybe a month and a half at most. They joined Joe's church group, brought the baby to church daycare every week. Are they hurt? Are they inside? Should I go see if they need anything?
My dad said, then stepped past me to go inside the house.
What a cool dad.
Yeah, just breaking right onto the crime scene.
Yeah, you know, I mean, he does, like, he's got that type of vibe, though. I'm gonna go see what this is all about. Let's just...
Yeah, you know
I'm
what
gonna go talk to the officers.
Old dad.
Oh, Daddy's here, sweet girl. I got you covered.
Yeah, we sent you to the kidnapper's house. We knew they were in Joe's church group. I'm gonna go see if the kidnappers need anything.
Well, I'm gonna be fair. I grew up in a small town, right? And there's a lot of like, oh, well, they're new to town. They're small, like a young couple. Hey, the Jimbos, they have a daughter that babysits. You don't have to take her to the daycare every day. You can pay her to babysit if that's cool. You know what I mean? So like, it's more with small communities like that. It's not something a lot of these places are expecting is massive goon squad child kidnappers with a baby like that. It's especially church group. Let me pull up my khakis real quick. My daughter would love to babysit for you. No big deal.
It must be that kind of place then. And my favorite character in the story so far is the massive random group of bikers that are just hanging out outside of this house.
Again.
We heard there was a kidnapping.
Again, dude. Enough redneck areas. And like, well, yeah, you get in those blue collar areas. Everyone decides to work and buy a bike. I'm not seeing them as bikers.
Right.
I'm not seeing them as bikers. I'm seeing them as a bunch of like high school age like kids and stuff that are on their dirt bikes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see that. I like that image more too.
Yeah, so it's like all the neighbors are curious. Like they saw it from up on the hill. They rode down. They didn't ride on any of the roads. They're just plowing over sagebrush to get there so that they can get a look to see what's going on Alpache Getaway or whatever the lane's called.
Like, Kathy fucked up, man. She's kidnapping. She was helping the kidnappers. Let's go point and laugh.
Yeah, exactly. It's boring Saturday night in twiddle tumbleweed land.
With my mom still holding on to me, I missed telling him that they weren't there. He would figure that out soon enough. I glanced towards the group of men and women on bicycles. I saw the older man from before moving his hands a lot while talking, and the teenage girl was staring at me, her eyes almost glowing in the moonlight. The officer from earlier appeared behind my mom. I read his badge as Officer Turner. He cleared his throat, which made my mom finally release me.
Is the baby okay? The baby's okay, just hungry. One of the medics is giving him some formula in the meantime. Could I ask you a few more questions?
He asked, pulling out a notepad from his pocket. My mom gripped my hand.
Don't you think my daughter has had enough to do with this? Correct? I don't know what all occurred tonight, but I can assure you that she hasn't done anything wrong,
she said, stepping towards Officer Turner. He shook his head.
No, ma'am, we don't think she's involved. Just have some questions to do with her as a witness.
It's okay, Mom. I'm okay.
I say, patting her arm.
I just need a minute. I'll find you as soon as I'm done.
Officer Turner and I step away from the chaos. She's not gonna lawyer up, dude. She's going to fucking the slammer. As we were walking towards a quieter area, I see the teenage girl from the house by the ambulance. She is standing close to the medics, not encroaching, but close. Like she's never letting the baby out of her sight again.
Have you done the DNA test yet?
I ask him.
Oh, no. We won't do that here. Oh, this is the cop.
Oh no, we won't do that here. They will do that at the hospital, to be sure.
He flips through the pages of his notepad. He opens his mouth to speak again, but I cut him off.
Have you gotten hold of the Racinos?
I quickly say, whose interrogation is this? The story I heard inside was tragic, but I wasn't sure if I fully believed it at first. As time goes on, with the Rosinos still not here, I'm starting to question my belief.
No, we haven't. We tried calling both phone numbers. They go straight to a generic voicemail. We tried looking up the numbers, but they were both prepaid phones. Did they mention where they were going tonight?
He asked, glancing over at the ambulance. I put both hands on my head as if that will help me remember what already feels like a lifetime ago. Think. Oh.
No,
Mr. Rosino did say... Oh yeah, you're right, it wasn't dialogue. Mr. Rosino did say something, but not to me, to his wife. As they were grabbing their keys, he said... What did he say?
A meeting.
I whispered.
A meeting?
A question and half a statement.
Oh, a meeting?
Detective Turner asked, squinting at me, as if waiting for me to continue. I look around, hoping for something to jog my memory.
He said they couldn't miss this group meeting just because she's grown attached. I don't know what it means, but that's what he said. I don't think he meant for me to hear it. He was just saying it as he closed the front door.
I inhaled deeply. But what would she be attached to?
Hey, I need an officer over here. Oh, this is Dad.
It was my dad's voice.
Close enough.
He was coming out of their house, waving papers around frantically.
Dude just breaks into the house. I love the dad. I just picture him in khakis and glasses. Hey, look what I found here. Check this out. And they're like, how did you get past the police line? Oh, I walked through the front door. It was right there. I said, hey, do you see that tumbleweed? And I just shimmied on by, guys.
And good thing, too.
I found all these papers.
A dishcloth separating his hand from the papers. He watches TV. He knows how to do this.
I love
he knows
this
detective
dad. This guy's
stuff.
awesome.
He is the best character. You're right. He's now the best character.
I need somebody in charge now.
Sounds like he's the one in charge.
Yeah, I love
His
this
voice rang
guy.
out over the chaos. Suddenly, everyone was silent. Curious eyes looked at my dad. She's like, oh my god. The teenage girl from the house looked right at me, a quizzical expression dancing in her eyes. I saw an officer walk over to my dad and take the papers out of his hand. No dish towel? Okay. Once he started reading them, his expression turned to tightness. Fear. He looked at my dad and asked him something. My dad gestured over his shoulder to the house, and they started to head inside. Officer Turner was watching as well.
Wait here,
Yeah, sure, I'll
please.
show you where all the evidence is. I got it all.
Hey! What
That's
kind
the
of dad doesn't instantly walk in and find the evidence? It's right there. It was literally under a book that said, don't move this book. And me, being quite the inquisitive guy, you know that I'm accountant, right? But I moved the book. I picked up the papers and said, look at this thing here. Look, it says right here, incriminating evidence. And so I brought it right to you.
He said as he headed towards the house himself. I stared after him, and he took a deep inhale. I'll admit, I don't know the Rosinos well, but could they have taken a baby? Why would they have not come home? Why aren't they here defending themselves? A few minutes later, my dad and Officer Turner walked outside, both sharing a grim expression. They stopped to speak to another officer briefly, and my dad walked over to my mom. I saw him say something to her, and her expression was something I'll never forget. Her hand went over her mouth, her eyes widened, and she began to shake, shaking from fear. Officer Turner walked over to me, and for the first time that night, removed his hat. My arms were crossed, and I waited for him to speak.
We didn't see your dad walk into the house. I'm gonna be real here. But he said he went to see if the Rosinos were anywhere in the house. He saw a folder sticking out of a hutch in the kitchen.
Oh my god, it was in the kitchen.
He said it curiously and got the best of him. So he used the dish towel, grabbed it, and grabbed it out to give it to us. When he dropped it, pages fell out.
He shook his head.
What did they say?
I asked, almost in a whisper. I wasn't sure I wanted to know.
Well, for starters, her last name isn't Rosino, so you got that wrong, lady. Second, not only was the baby not theirs, but they were getting ready to sell him. Holy shit.
He said, looking me directly in the eye.
Sell him?
I stammered.
Sell him to where? To who? Why would they sell him?
We are very terrified. We are verifying that. We are verifying the documents right now. But if they are true, he was going to be sold for too.
He rubbed the back of his head. It seemed like he was contemplating what he was going to say to me.
Just tell me. I deserve to know after tonight.
I said firmly. I had a feeling I would never be the same after what came out of his mouth.
Alright, there are these groups, organizations of people who steal infants and try to sell them for various reasons.
His mouth turned grim, but he was still looking me in the eye.
Various reasons, What do you mean?
That's all I'm able to tell you at this time, until deeper investigation has been performed. But these people, the Rosinos, if our speculations are true, they're some of the most sinister criminals we have ever come across.
Detective Turner's eyes grew haunted, with what looked like years of traumatic images. My stomach dropped. Oh God. Oh no. I felt my dinner from hours ago come up, and I vomited in the dry grass to my left. Tears streaked down my face, and I was suddenly gasping for air. My parents came running over, and my mom held my hair back. Once everything was out of me, I wiped my mouth on my sleeve and turned back to Officer Turner, shaking violently against my mom.
It seems maybe she, the wife, changed her mind. She may have wanted to keep the baby for herself, but the husband was intending on going through with the deal. We believe that's what the meeting could have been about tonight. The house is also a rental. We got in contact with the owner, and he admits he didn't run a full background check, just a credit check.
Officer Turner offered me a sad facial expression.
I just don't understand. He's just a baby. Why would anybody want to? What kind of person would?
I said between tears. If my mom wasn't holding me up, my legs would have given out already. Officer Turner nodded sympathetically, and what he said next sent chills down my spine.
You may have thought the monsters tonight were the ones banging on the door. But the monsters had already been inside with you.
I think back to the few moments I had shared with the couple. They seemed nice, normal. I always thought monsters were under my bed, hiding in the shadows, but they're not. They're hidden in plain sight. They're hiring you to babysit.
The couple's in the wind. We put out alerts for the descriptions in the car already, but they're gone. We're sending a team to analyze the property right now. They're going to get the baby to the hospital for that DNA test.
He put his notepad away and took a step backwards.
You're taking him again? But you said he isn't the Rosinos, or whoever they are. You said that it wasn't their baby. Can't you give him back to her?
I asked, pointing at the teenage girl. She was still in the ambulance, still at the ambulance, looking in.
We have to perform a DNA test first. Then he will go into foster care until the test comes back. Then we will move forward. Depending on the results. I'm sorry.
Officer Turner said.
Can I go to the hospital?
I asked.
He knows me more than anyone here. I just want to comfort him.
I'll go with her too.
My dad chimed in.
We just want him to be safe. Liz, could you follow the car?
My mom nodded. She was still holding on to me.
I normally would say no, but given the strange circumstances, we will make an exception.
Officer Turner waved us towards the ambulance. Luckily there was room in the back for me and my dad if we squeezed. The paramedic stepped aside to speak with Officer Turner. Dad's not even driving. He's like, Liz, get the car.
Liz, you can drive.
He probably jumped in the driver's seat of the fucking ambulance. Once they stepped away, I saw the teenage girl, standing alone, looking at me with pain-filled eyes. I looked right at her.
Don't worry. I will make sure he's okay, I promise.
I said to her, looking her directly into her almost white eyes.
Thank you,
she said. A single tear fell down her face. The paramedics closed up the back of the ambulance and we started our journey to the hospital, followed by several police cars. The teenage girl didn't move from her spot as she watched us drive out of sight. Her dad came over and hugged her tightly, but she kept her eyes on the ambulance. I looked down at the baby. He was fully awake now, and happily babbling while my dad talked to the paramedic, giving him advice on how to do his job. I realized for the first time tonight that this is the first time I'm seeing him in any light at all. The baby turned to me, and his eyes flared in recognition. His eyes, so bright blue, they were almost white. Jonah.
So, this was typical case of the author wanting to add more, had this whole thing in their head, added more to, and it was completely unnecessary. This is the pan out shot in a movie. This is what you're guessing went down, and it was completely unnecessary. Absolutely unnecessary.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, is like where it just goes through and fills in all of the blanks and explains everything. It was a very unnecessary addition.
It was one of those what?
Dad got added.
The dad was fucking super compadre. He would have been like, hey, you're a salt of the earth. Yeah, he's awesome. Dad, she has the greatest khaki-wearing 6'3" father of all time. Like, I just overly lanky, weird. Everybody asks him if he plays basketball, but he has no hand-eye coordination. It's just the most interesting guy ever. Boo! I love that guy. I
loved him.
He was fantastic. It was totally worth reading this story just to get the perspective of the father. I think the first part was incredible. I really do. I like that it turned something that we were so accustomed to on its head. It really did take it. And I mean, like, it kind of hit for me too, where it's like, what would I, and a lot of people are like, why wouldn't you just call the cops when you found him or whatever? And it's like, I don't know if I would call the cops in that situation. Like, I want to say that I would call the cops when the baby was missing, right? But if they couldn't find her and I hired a PI and then I found out where it was, like, I might be heading that way, call the cops, say, hey, I'm going to this house.
Yeah, you call the cops after.
Yeah,
after you go to the house.
There's a part of me that would just go instantaneously, tell me to wait. I'm like, no, I'm getting my child. I mean, I harkens to where, like, I think about my kids. So it's like, it puts a different perspective where, like, if I was reading the story and I didn't have a kid, I'd be like, well, that's stupid. Why wouldn't you just wait for the cops? But there's part of me that was thinking, like, oh, dude, there would be no Rosinos. There'd be no Rosinos.
It'd be like straight up Liam Neeson mode. Yeah, you just kick in.
Like, I'm fat, so there'd be no Liam Neeson cool, like, combative stuff. But it would be like I would show up and there would be blood flowing. I would still blast off some happy rounds and make some stuff happen. But
Matches on the curtains, whole house explodes.
Matches on the curtains, whole house explodes, and I'd be walking out with the baby in my hand with it exploding in the background. 100%. Dude, I'm like a bearded Chris Farley if Taken was starring him, right? It was, yeah, but I was so hooked in that out of the three things we read, that is hands down one. It was brilliant. I really think that was brilliant.
It was great.
It just, I didn't think that I was gonna be like have the after the first story again. I wanted to read something their most popular one to kind of give them a fair shot. I feel like a lot of times you read somebody's like newest story and you're like, I'm gonna make fun of it and then laugh at it, and then you're like, I'll never read anything by them again. And that I don't know. I was just
that first story we were kind of like, that was like good for like the humorous twists and turns and stuff like that. It had like some decent setup to it and stuff like that, and it was just a big old bucket of nacho cheese the entire time.
Yeah, 100%. It was like watching like the Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, pretty much. It was still enjoyable.
Yeah, or The Room. Yeah. It was like The Room or something where it's just so bad that it's just fun. You know it's not good, but you're having a good time through it. So that's kind of how I felt about the first story. The second story without part 2 could stand on its own. It's just something brilliant. I think if you added in some of the stuff like organically. I think if it was redrafted and some of the stuff was added in organically, like built up more, like you understood, like this like started out with a new couple moved into town and kind of filled it in that way instead of just exposition dumping for the whole second part. Because the whole second part is just, I felt like I had some holes. Somebody pointed out some holes, so I'm gonna go back and write this as an entire like, oh, the people were complaining, so I'm shutting them up.
Right. It needs explained, so I have to go back and explain everything, and oftentimes you lose stuff when that starts to happen. You start to lose things when you go back and explain, namely the like cool unsaid stuff.
Oh yeah.
Now, if they did redraft this, I could see that like this would work really well as like 4 short parts, but not as much with like the 2 short parts. Like you said, if she got to like take a little bit more time with each of the things and do a little bit more scene building, then it wouldn't have just been like one story of like really cool setup and then one story of debrief with Dad.
Well, I mean, it's not just like the thing that's worked. Like the thing that's crazy about the whole first story is it's just a great setup, great payoff. And if you want to fill that out more, I think the better way to go about that is have the main character discover these things herself, start to like, there's weird things about like what's going on with the Rosinos, you know, what like the Rosinos are these weird people. And as it progresses, when you do get the invader section and there is the drop, it all comes together. I mean, that would be hard to write. It would be much like, obviously I'm an idiot, so me just saying it out here is a lot more simple than writing it in the correct way.
Right, yeah. Again, that's why we're not just like, why didn't you just... No, I did enjoy the story quite a bit. Like, I think that it worked overall, and the only reason that I like, and I'll defend part 2, is just because Dad just walking on the scene, crack the case in like 10 seconds.
Just blows into the house. The cop's like, I don't even know how the fuck he got in there. To be honest with you, I have no idea how this guy got in here. We had like 6 cops there
standing around outside, and they're like, we don't know what's going on. And Dad walks on, he's like, I'm gonna go see if they need anything.
I'm gonna check the most obvious place in the kitchen. Right there. Yeah. What kind of idiot cops are... They need my help. Well, let old daddy handle it. You know, it's just...
I found this catalog with a bunch of babies in it. Maybe this is a clue.
They're all separated by race. The Rosinos are also racists. There's a pricing gauge. All it is like skin tone gauge from like an RPG, but it's like a pricing gauge. Oh, it's like that South Park game where you choose the difficulty, but it's pricing. Yeah. It's racist pricing. So on top of the Rosinos being child kidnappers, they're also renowned racists.
There's like some theory articles in between.
Yeah,
In between the spreads. No, I did realize though the one ginormous hole in the story where they have to do like the DNA test and all this type of stuff, has no one looked at the baby. Because like at the very last sentences were like, if you look at the baby for a second, now that its eyes are open and stuff like that,
well, that's
you
not,
can just
that's not always the
obviously
fairest.
tell
That's
that
not
it's
always the
same-
fairest thing, because they can have a grandparent with blue eyes.
True.
So, because like it's rare, but it does happen. Like, if you're like, let's say I had like 3 grandparents with blue eyes, right, on my side of the family, and I think my wife maybe had 1, and our baby has my grandmother's eyes, like 100%. If you look at my baby, she has my grandmother's eyes, which are a very dark navy blue. Same eye shape, same everything. Very similar to my eye shape. She's 100% got my eyes, but she's got my grandma's color. So there is a difference there where it can skip genetically. So I mean, yeah, it looks more like the girl. That is this writer's big pull for the end of the story, is it looks just like that girl. But at the same time, like, yeah, as a cop, they have to do a DNA test. Oh,
Yeah,
1000%.
I guess the due
That is
diligence
a
thing.
part of the thing, because if this does hit a legal thing where they take a baby and it ended up being wrong, then the state is liable for the entire thing in terms of legality.
All right, so we do have we have a lot of gestures towards continuity, which is that carries it, I guess.
Yeah. But anyways, that was
right,
was the episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to go give this writer some love. I think they've been doing it. It doesn't seem like they've been doing it too long. If I go to their page, if we go oldest, I can't do it by oldest. But I mean, they've only been posting for 4 months. So this is a relatively new author on the scene, and it seems like she's had some pretty decent success. Her biggest, of course, being He Belongs to Us. And I really enjoyed He Belongs with Us. I think actually the biggest is The Woman in the Hallway. That's their biggest.
Okay, so then we do have another one to come back to.
Yeah, we'll have to come back to her. We definitely need to keep this in mind. But yeah, that was a fun one. I really enjoyed that second story. I've already said it a million times, but it was so good.
Absolutely.
But anyways, guys, make sure to like, subscribe. Yeah, it definitely beat the creature feature. For our first creature feature on
We're having so many firsts. Yeah, we had like our babysitter story rewrite and our first creature feature and stuff like that. Man, eventually we're gonna be like, we've seen this before, but for a long time, man, we're gonna have a lot of firsts.
Oh, absolutely. I'm happy. This was a good grab bag episode. I really enjoyed this. You gotta have a few. This is a good highlight for the thing. But anyways, everybody, I'll bid you adieu. Much love, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Au revoir.